So I'm starting to make this logo design for a potential customer here, and I was going to use this logo as sort of the theme for the website that I'm about to make for them as well. And I thought it'd be a great opportunity to just very quickly talk about color contrast and web accessibility. So if you're not familiar with web accessibility, I'm actually going to create a separate video all about that, explain what it is and why it's important and why you can actually get in trouble with it. There's a lot of lawsuits. There's like thousands of lawsuits that happen every year because websites aren't accessible to people with certain disabilities. Some of the most notable ones are like Target and Walmart and Winn-Dixie. They have multi-million dollar settlements because their websites aren't accessible to, like I said, people with certain disabilities. And one of the web accessibility things that gets violated all the time is color contrast. So what do I mean by that? This client here that I'm working with, that I might be working with, had a logo already, and I'm going to try and like redesign it a little bit. And their logo was a green color, so I just went with this green color here. And then, like I said, I'm going to be using this as the theme for the website as well. So before I went any further, I want to make sure that if I were to use this green as like the top navigation bar background color, for instance, then I'd probably want to put white text on there. So I want to make sure that this green color as a background works well with a white text in front of it. And I want to make sure that the contrast is different enough that it's not going to violate these web accessibility standards. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this hex code for the green color here. And I'm going to go to some sort of contrast checker here. I like this one, seems to work very well. And I'm just going to paste in that background color there. And then I'm going to use a white foreground color here. And we can see this almost works, but it will fail the WCAG AAA check as well. All right, so that means this color I probably shouldn't use if I want to pass every single possible web accessibility standard test. All right, so what I can do here is make this just a tiny bit darker. And that's why I like this website so much, is you can toggle these things just a tiny bit until it passes. There we go. So now it passes and I can use this color instead. And if we go over here and I'm going to change this color, and notice how it's really not that much different. It's a very subtle change. It makes it a little bit darker. But now if I put white text in front of this background color here, it's going to pass all the different web accessibility standards, and me and my client's website are going to be safe from any potential lawsuits that someone might come against us. It's also just the right thing to do, right? Is to make sure your website is accessible for every type of person, regardless of what disabilities they may or may not have, who come to your website. So that's all I wanted to talk about in this short video here, is just making sure that you were actually checking your color contrast for your logos and your website and anything else that you're using for your brand. If you have any questions, feel free to drop it in the comments below. Feel free to check out my blog. I have plenty of other articles and videos on this specific topic on how to make sure that you and your website are safe from all web accessibility standards. Thanks for watching. I'll see y'all next time.